Hello and welcome to news broadcasts on TayNinhTV with some latest events in the province as well as in nationwide. And now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, on the morning of April 5th, on the occasions of the traditional New Year Chon Chanam Thamay 2025 of the Kingdom of Cambodia, the delegation of Tây Ninh Province, led by Mr. Nguyễn Hồng Thành, member of the Provincial Party Standing Committee, action chairman of the Tây Ninh Provincial People's Committee, visited and congratulated the government and people of the Bông Khmer Province, Kingdom of Cambodia.
The meeting was also attended by Mr. Tô Ngọc Hạnh, Secretary of the Phước Provincial Party Committee. Receiving the delegation, there were Mr. Pen Konsol, member of the Central Executive Committee of Cambodian People's Party, Governor of Bông Khmer Province, and Mr. Long Thiam, Chairman of the Bông Khmer Provincial Council. In a friendly atmosphere, Mr. Ben Konsol sent a warm welcome and sincere thanks to the leaders of the Ninh and Bình Phước provinces for visiting and congratulating the Khmer people on their traditional New Year. He expressed his hope that the solidarity, friendship, and cooperation between the three provinces of Bông Khmer, Tây Ninh and Bình Phước will be increasingly sustainable and comprehensively developed. On behalf of the leaders of Tây Ninh and Bình Phước provinces, Mr. Tô Ngọc Hạnh, Secretary of Bình Phước Provincial Party Committee, expressed joy at the outstanding achievements that the Bông Khmer province has achieved in the past time, especially in the fields of economy, infrastructure, health, and education. On the occasion of the traditional Chonam Thamay New Year of 2025, the delegation of Tây Ninh and Bình Phước provinces sent meaningful gifts and best wishes for the new year to the leaders, delegates, and the peoples of the Bông Khmer province. In the coming time, the leaders of Tây Ninh and Bình Phước provinces hope to continue to strengthen the cooperative relationship together with the Bông Khmer province to promote the achieved results for sustainable development and common prosperity of the three localities, contributing to fostering the solidarity and friendship between the two peoples of Vietnam and Cambodia to increasingly green and sustainable forever. And on the afternoon of April the 4th of 2025, the Ministry of Public Security held an online conference to review the work of the public security in the first quarter of 2025, evaluates the results of 1 month of implementing the new organizational model, and deploy the work of Steering Committee of 35 of the Ministry of Public Security. The General Lương Tâm Quang, Police Bureau member, Minister of Public Security, chaired the conference. Attending the conference at Tây Ninh Provincial Connecting Point, there was Colonel Nguyễn Văn Trải, Director of Provincial Police. In the first quarter of 2025, the public security force has successfully completed on the task, basically achieving and exceeding the set goals and requirements. Notably, it continued to be exemplary in organizing the public security apparatus, not organizing district-level public security from March the 1st of 2025, receiving and implementing 6 tasks from ministry and branches to the Ministry of Public Security from March the 1st to ensure better and more effective implementation, without disrupting the normal operation of agencies, organizations, businesses, and individuals. The social order and safety have many very positive changes also. Concluding the conference, General Lương Tâm Quang, Police Bureau member, Minister of Public Security, requested units and localities to closely follow the programs and work plan to organize the implementation, in which highly concentrated forces, means, and measures to absolutely protect national security, safety of conferences, important political, cultural, and social events of the country.
In March 2025, export turnover in Tây Ninh Province continued to record impressive growth, with total export turnover reaching over $576 million, up to more than 13% compared to the previous month.
And this figure is also up to sharply by approximately 78% compared to the same period last year. In particular, the agricultural, forestry, and fishery products group recorded positive signals, with exports turnover estimated at over $12 million, and inciting growth for more than 54% compared to the previous month, and an outstanding growth for more than 171% compared to the same period, contributing to 2.22% of the overall picture of the total export turnover. The processed industrial goods group still affirms its leading position, bringing in an estimated enterprise turnover of over $540 million, continuing the growth momentum of 13.49% compared to the previous month, and increasing by more than 74% compared to the same period in 2024, accounting for a large proportion of 39.9% of the total export turnover. In addition, other commodities groups also saw encouraging growth with an estimated export turnover of over $22 million, although somewhat softer than the previous month with 98.5%, but a strong breakthrough with a rate of 157.5% compared to the same period. In general, this commodity group reached for over $69 million, an impressive growth of more than 69% compared to the same period last year. And on the morning of April the 5th, the Baodong Thailand Club organized a meeting with the topic Food Safety for Thailand. Mr. Nguyễn Đình Xuân, Director of the Department of Agriculture and Environment of Thailand Province, also participated in the meeting. At the meeting, the Thailand farmers in Baodong Commune were instructed on the cultivation techniques to prevent Thailand fruit from falling. At the same time, the farmers were instructed on safe cultivation measures to control the yellow owl. Aura means zero, a substance used to create a color in the industry of the cultivation of Thailand and heavy metals. And according to the representatives of the companies, to control the yellow oil and heavy metals, the people need to create a handbook for cultivating Thailand trees, manage the pests, and ensure the food safety and hygiene of Thailand before the harvest season, the techniques for harvesting Thailand and to ensure the quality, use fertilizers and pesticides according to the 4 rights, the principle including the right medicine, right time, right concentration, and right method. In particular, for Thailand growing areas exporting to China, it is necessary to limit the use of fertilizers and pesticides containing cadmium and lead and ensure the quarantine period before the harvest to avoid the residues into the product. Do not use yellow oil in the preliminary processing and preservation of Thailand products.
Dear audience, the Southern Servo Medicines Department Traditional Club of Ho Chi Minh City have a ceremony to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and the reunifications of the country, April 30, 1975, April 30, 2025.
The ceremony was held at the National Historical Site of the Southern Central Civil Medicine Department, TayNinhTV Province, and revealing the tradition and contribution of the health sector through the ages, inaugurating the statue of President Ho Chi Minh and 5 statues of typical doctors. Association Professor Dr. Trần Thị Trung Chiến, former Minister of Health, reviewing the tradition of the Southern Central Civil Medicine Department, that the department was established in the early of 1964, playing an important role in taking care of the health and course the soldiers and the people in the South during the resistance wars against the U.S. Under the leadership of the Central Office for the Southern of Vietnam, the Civilian Medical Department has closely coordinated with the Military Medical Department in providing emergency aid, treating wounded soldiers, producing medicine, vaccines, medical supplies, and training the medical staff for the Southern battlefield. With its great contributions, on December 19 of 2018, the Civilian Medical Department was honored to be awarded the title of the Hero of the People's Armed Forces. Along with the development of the country, the Vietnamese medical sector has constantly progressed in all aspects in the fields of caring for and improving the people's health to meet the development of the modern medicine, such as lung transplant, kidney transplant, liver transplant, and heart transplant, laparoscopic surgery, robotic surgery, etc., and has saved the lives of countless of patients in the life-threatening situations, bringing the joy and happiness to the patients' families. At the ceremony, the Minister of Health, Da Hong Lang, said that Vietnamese health sector will continue to strive to build a modern, fair, high-quality, and sustainable health system with the goal of improving the people's health. This is not only a ceremony of historical significance, but also an opportunity for us to pay tribute, remember, and express gratitude to the sacrifice of previous generations to remember the martyrs in the health sector who sacrificed for the cause of building and defending the land, and also arouse in the hearts of everyone health worker today the spirit of dedication, the idea of serving the people and the generations of fathers and brothers who work hard to build. And 9 new statues were also inaugurated at the National Historical Site of the Central Civil Medicine Department of the Southern Region, including the statue of alcohol and 8 professor, doctors, and labor heroes of the health sector, not only creating a solemn space of the gratitude, but also inspiring the generation of health sector through the ages. Its statue is a vivid memory and a reminder for today's generation to live up to the shared values that were exchanged with the sweat, tears, and blood of the previous generation. We, the descendants of the doctors whose statue were placed today, voters try to live up to the contribution and sacrifice of the heroic martyrs of the whole country, of our grandparents and parents to continue to contribute to the cause of building and defending the fatherland. This important meeting is an opportunity to reveal the heroic history of the nation, to commemorate the great contribution of the generation of fathers and grandfathers who have devoted and sacrificed for the independence and freedoms of the fatherland, and an opportunity to show gratitude to the doctors and wise soldiers who have devoted themselves to serving the people throughout the history. And on the afternoon of April 4 at the HGC TayNinhTV Primary Middle High School, the Department of Education and Training of TayNinhTV City organized the Happy School Topic program with the participation of the Board of Directors of Kindergarten and Primary Schools in TayNinhTV City and Horton Town. At the program, Dr. Nguyễn Thị Bích Hồng, School Psychology Consultant, HGC Education Group, shared about the core criteria, positive messages, and methods to build a happy school environment, as well as communication skills in management and handling pedagogical situation. The program took place in a lively atmosphere with the practical and sincere changes from the board of directors of the school, story experiences and concern in the journey to build happy schools. The program not only provides the useful knowledge and skills, but also inspires educational administrators to gradually realize the motto of happy school where the teachers and students feel respected and loved. And it's also a practical step in the strategy of building a human-centered school, starting from changes in the thinking and actions of each individual. The information from the General Education Department and the Ministry of Education and Training said that the 2018 General Education Program aims to promote the student abilities, so the primary, secondary, and high schools organize the teaching and the 2 sections per day. Accordingly, in the timetable, the subjects according to the program need to be designed and arranged evenly across the 2 sections to reduce the pressure on the students. In addition, it is necessary to exploit the learning topics and subjects to turn knowledge into abilities for the students. It is expected that there are 5 mandatory contents that schools must include in their educational content when organizing the 2 sections per day: education from digital skills for the students, STEM education, career education, and traffic safety law topics, and educational activities to form the abilities for the students.
In the coming time, Trảng Bàng Thao will be the location for many important transport tractor projects of the province and central government, notably the Ho Chi Minh City Mộc Bài Expressway, Ho Chi Minh Bros, and Hưng Thuận Logistics area. In order to ensure the construction progress of these key projects, the town government has been actively implementing the compensation, site clearance, and construction of resettlement projects. On February 26, Trảng Bàng Town People's Committee held a groundbreaking ceremony for resettlement project in Bùng Binh Hamlet, Hưng Thuận Commune. The project has a total area of over 10.7 hectares, with 402 resettlement plots expected to be arranged with an average area of about 140 square meters for each. This is one of the key projects to ensure the stable and long-term housing for affected households during the implementation of infrastructure and traffic development projects in the area. Investing in a synchronous resettlement area contributes to promoting the progress of major projects while ensuring the legitimate rights for the people.
It is expected that the construction of the infrastructure of the residential economic zone will be completed and handed over to the people in August of 2025 to serve the resettlement of the highway projects and other projects in the main town. So, according to the research, the resettlement area in Bùng Binh Hamlet, Hinh Thuận Commune will is planned synchronously and modernly with a complete technical and social infrastructure system. The project includes internal traffic rules paired with the asphalt lighting system, water supply, drainage, and domestic waste treatment with a systematic investment. In addition, the resettlement area also reserves land for community serving work such as kindergartens and public green areas in order to create stable, convenient, and environmental friendly living conditions for the people after resettlement. Actual record shows that after more than 10 days since the groundbreaking ceremony, the resettlement area projects in Bùng Binh Hamlet, Hinh Thuận Commune, Trang Bang Town is entering the earth construction phase. At the construction site, the workers and machinery are operating continuously to speed up the progress of leveling the road. Currently, the contractor is ensuring the progress of the project. The site has been cleared by 70% and the contractor has built up the organic soil and lowered the raw surface of all clear areas, and the head of the granite culvert is also being constructed in parallel and the cast iron manhole is being installed on site. According to the construction unit, currently about 30% of the area within the resettlement projects in Bùng Binh Hamlet, Hinh Thuận Commune is still entangled with the houses and perennial cropland, affecting the progress of technical items. It's now that local authorities are actively coordinating to carry out the site clearance work, hand over the clean site as soon as possible. And in the face of the decision to impose a reciprocal tax of up to 46% from the United States, the Ministry of Industry and Trade forecasts that in the coming time, export activities will face many difficulties, and therefore close coordination between ministry sectors and enterprises is needed, especially promoting negotiations of FTAs with new markets such as the Middle East, Latin America, Central Asia, and other emerging markets also. The Ministry of Industry and Trade also aims to expand the system of Vietnamese trade officers abroad to better support businesses in trade connection, export promotion, diversify markets, diversify the products, and diversify supply chains to ensure the rapid and sustainable development. The Ministry of Industry and Trade recommends that domestic enterprises first diversify export markets, effectively exploit the key markets and traditional markets, as well as develop small markets, niche markets, and open up the new potential markets also. And on the morning of April the 4th at Đồng Hới Station, the Army and the people of Quảng Bình Province Military Region 4 held a meeting and presented the gifts to encourage the future soldiers and military forces marching to Ho Chi Minh City to participate in the parade to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and the national reunification, April the 30th of 1975, April the 30th of 2025, stopping at Đồng Hới Station. The train number 1 and number 2 carrying nearly 1,400 officers, soldiers and military forces departed from Hanoi Station and stopped at Đồng Hới Station, Quảng Bình Province. In the joyful and exciting atmosphere before the great festival of the country, the Army and the people of Quảng Bình expressed their joy and honor to welcome the delegation, and the rest stopped and wished the forces participating in the parade good health to continue promoting the tradition of their homeland and units and the results they have achieved, and strive to excellently fulfill the tasks entrusted to them by the party, the state, and the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense.
At a regular press conference on the afternoon of April 3rd, the Ministry of Finance made assessment on the U.S. government's announcement to apply a 46% tax rate on goods export from Vietnam.
A representative of the Ministry of Finance said that the tax rate applied to goods exported from Vietnam is up to 46%, covering more than 90% of the goods, which will negatively affect exports. The Ministry of Finance has proactively reviewed on the tax policies, especially import taxes. On that basis, the Ministry has advised the government to issue the decree to reduce the FMN tax, the most federal nation tax rate applicable to many goods from major partners, including the United States. And through the review of related taxes, the representative Ministry of Finance said that the calculated rate does not reach 46%, and therefore it is necessary to consider additional factors other than taxes and conduct careful research to have appropriate proposals to submit to the government. Vietnam has been very proactive in reviewing the tax policies on imported goods. However, to achieve a real trade balance, it is impossible to rely solely on tax tolls. The Deputy Minister of Finance said that to develop sustainable trade, it is necessary to combine many factors because if we only focus on increasing the taxes, the two-way trade will be at risk of shrinking, and therefore persistent dialogue with the partners, especially the United States, is necessary to achieve the balance and long-term development for the benefit of both people and businesses of the two countries.
That's all for today, TTV News. Thank you for being with us, and goodbye for now.